National Broadcasting Company.
Hey everyone, I'm Allison Morris. You're watching NBC News Now. Here are the headlines. Major news out of Iraq. The United States has killed Qassem Soleimani, Iran's top military commander, in an airstrike just outside of Baghdad's airport.
President Donald Trump authorized a drone strike at Baghdad International Airport last night that, of course, killed Iran's top general.
Qassem Soleimani, in Ali Arouzi's telling, he's essentially the second most powerful man in Iran after the supreme leader.
We don't seek war with Iran, but we, at the same time, are not going to stand by and watch the Iranians escalate and continue to put American lives at risk without responding in a way that disrupts, defends, deters, and creates an opportunity to de-escalate the situation.
Soleimani led the elite Quds Force, part of Iran's Revolutionary Guards. He was behind most of Iran's military activities in the Middle East, including supporting and directing Iran-backed terrorist groups like Hezbollah. The U.S. and Israel designated him a foreign terrorist, and he was subject to U.S. sanctions. Now, the Pentagon justified the strike in a statement, saying Soleimani was actively developing plans to attack American diplomats and service members in Iraq and throughout the region, and that this strike was aimed at deterring future Iranian attack plans. We have a team of reporters covering this story from every angle today. We will get out to them right after the headlines. President Trump defending Soleimani's killing in a series of tweets, saying he's killed or badly wounded thousands of Americans over an extended period of time and was plotting to kill many more but got caught. And while Iran will never be able to properly admit it, Soleimani was both hated and feared within the country. They are not nearly as saddened as the leaders will let the outside world believe. He should have been taken out many years ago. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo backing up the president.
We have every expectation that people not only in Iraq but in Iran will view the American action last night as giving them freedom to have the opportunity for success and prosperity for their nations. And while the political leadership may not want that, the people in these nations will demand it.
Soleimani's death escalating the tensions between Washington and Tehran dramatically. Iran has already vowed revenge against the United States. The country's supreme leader saying a harsh retaliation is waiting. The foreign minister calling the U.S. strike an act of state terrorism.
انتقامی از آنها خواهیم گرفت که روزشون را تبدیل به شام سیاه خواهد کرد.
After the strike, the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad issued a security alert warning Americans not to travel to Iraq and telling those already there to leave immediately. The attack also pits the U.S. and its allies against Iran and its proxy militias, and it risks sparking a greater conflict that could engulf the region. Law enforcement officials in the U.S. also on high alert today. While no specific threats have been reported, officials like New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio tell NBC News that they will be monitoring the situation closely and checking in with sources to determine if there is an imminent threat.
You're going to see more officers and you're going to see more unpredictability, just movements as needed to address anything that we're receiving in the way of intelligence. Always make a point to reiterate there's no credible and specific threat now. If there ever was one, we're going to tell the people of this city that.
The news out of the Middle East making its way to Wall Street. Stocks down, oil up today. The Dow closed more than 200 points lower, about 235 you see there, while oil spiked 3% to its highest prices since April, raising concerns, including what you could end up paying at the pump. And now you know.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.